Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of the Absolute Women's Football Podcast. Today, myself and Sam are very excited to be joined by two very special guests to talk about their new short film, Solas United. Now, the film focuses on a grassroots women's football team who are struggling to save their club. And honestly, the story rings so true as fans of women's football, and we can't wait to hear all about it. So joining us today, we've got Sara Harrak, who's the writer and producer of the film, and Leah Harvey, who's one of the lead actors. Welcome both. How are you?
Thank you for having us. Yeah, I'm really good. I'm great. I'm so excited to be here and start sharing this film with the grassroots audience and stuff. So I'm really buzzing to be able to share this with you guys.
Yeah, likewise. I've had a good breakfast. I've had my coffee. I'm ready to go.
That's the thing I'm missing. I've got a huge mug of coffee missing that should be in the time for this chat. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Sara, we'll start with you if that's okay. Now, the film will have its premiere, I believe, at the BFI Flair LGBTQIA Plus Film Festival in London later this month. So until then, I know I teased a little bit in the opening, but what can you tell us about the film and why should we all be incredibly excited for its release?
I think the biggest thing, and just to sort of give you a bit of a background with me. So I have a five-a-side football team myself. So this is where it kind of percolated. Let's say this is where this film came about. And yeah, I mean, like you said, our world premiere is at BFI Flair, which I'm so buzzing about because that's exactly what we wanted. It's the right audience, obviously. You know, women's football kind of comes hand in hand with, being queer. It tends to be the route that we go down. But yeah, I'm just like I said, I'm just really excited for this. Will be the first time that we're showing it to an audience, and obviously as a creator, for me, it's like it's nerve-wracking, exciting. You've got all these feelings and emotions, and what's really beautiful about it is that I think it was like in the first 5 minutes the tickets sold out. Which shows, it's wild. So it shows there's like a yearning for a film like this, and I'm very proud to be able to bring that, hopefully, and people will enjoy it to people, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, because I was reading a post where I believe you mentioned that this is the first British female football film since Bend It Like Beckham, which was 2002, which makes me feel incredibly old. But why do you think that it's taken so long for someone to think, hang on, there's an audience here, there's a market? And yeah, do you feel proud that you're the ones bringing it back to the big screen?
Yeah, I mean, it's a slight pressure as well. I mean, Bend It Like Beckham is like, that's just a cult film now. And so, yeah, to be able to bring sort of the fresh, dusting it off kind of thing and making it our own it's quite fun and exciting. Honestly, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know why. It's this classic thing. I think sometimes we have to. It's almost like women's stories, or especially women football stories. We need to prove that there's an audience almost, which is really sad. And so yeah, I don't know whether it's just that, but there is definitely. We've been super fortunate. Like, people are literally gagging to get tickets. I think quite a few people have messaged me about the world premiere and saying, Sara, the tickets are like Glastonbury. It's like no one can get any tickets.
Gold dust, yeah.
Which is very cute. And obviously, this is just the start of our tour of the film and film festival run. So, but yeah, I don't know why. There hasn't been a film since, a British film anyway. There has been, obviously, in different countries, but yeah, it's wild. I mean, and also just to say as well, when I was doing my research for the film, all my research was either Bend It Like Beckham, or it was like, I don't know, there's about 12, 15 male football films. And I was like, and there was nothing to sort of, I'll give you also another example, which I found was super interesting. When we were doing the sound effects for the film, my sound designer said, we don't have anything in our bank that are women cheering women footballers. So we had to make that ourselves because they didn't have anything to reference. They don't have, they don't have that. It's wild. It's really, really wild.
that's so mad, because they're the crucial parts that you think, oh yeah, they should be available, right? But it's, you know, taking, you know, this film to be like, actually there's a lot of gaps that we need to close in this market, and, you know, being the first ones doing it's fantastic. Now, you mentioned being part of a five-side team. Sam, I know you've got a question that we're coming on to.
Absolutely. So being part of, say, five-a-side team, so was it a particular team? Say, did that sort of inspire you, or was it sort of, have you got an amalgamation of a few of the five-a-side experiences you've come across in terms of bringing the film to life?
Yeah, you know, I've always loved sports generally, and team sports 100%. Like, you know, I used to play netball. I used to play football when I was very young as well. And so essentially, like, I'm 35 now, and I was living abroad for a while, and then moved back to London. I needed to make some friends, and, you know, sports is always the way to do that. And I joined a football team. Well, this is the shorter story, but I joined a football team called Bangers FC, which is based in East London, and I was so. It literally became my world, you know. I was like playing football with them twice a week, matches and training, hanging out on the weekends. And during this time, it was summer as well. So it was like barbecues, you know, going out. It was like we became a second family, and it was just so beautiful. And I think and hopefully the film does this, but I really wanted to show how beautiful, not only playing football together, but it's also the community that comes with it, and how that you really, I don't know. I mean, it gives me goosebumps thinking about, because it's just it's such a beautiful community out there. And like what's lovely is that, especially, and I can only obviously speak for like East London in particular, but London grassroots football team, it's so diverse and it's so beautiful, and everyone's just so open. It's beautiful. It is. There's some real beauty to grassroots, and especially with my five-a-side team. And so I just wanted to highlight that side of things as well.
No, definitely. I say the love of the game. I mean, as Freya, we attest to, that's kind of the podcast, isn't it? That's our bringing everything together across all sorts of different sort of levels of the game and sort of different sides of the game. So that's fantastic. And of course, the orange kit was that inspired by Bangers CFC as well?
Let me see if I can undo this. There we go.
The answer was yes.
It is indeed, yeah. And actually, it's funny, when we were shooting, I actually wore this T-shirt on one of the days to really channel the community feel of it all. It was, and you know, normally when you're filming something, you wouldn't use a similar colour. You try and keep it a little bit different, but it was such a powerful colour to have on screen, and it looked really well. So we did end up using orange, but yeah, it looks great. But yes, very much inspired in terms of the kit.
Right, absolutely, very good. And so we're speaking about, say, grassroots football, and that being sort of key in raising that awareness of the reality of it. Was it important for you to sort of give that perspective? Because obviously you've got the Lionesses and the fantastic things that they're doing for women's football, but grassroots obviously being kind of the complete opposite. Was that key to your thinking?
Yeah, 100%. I think there's a difference, because, you know, even, and I was saying this to the actors, I said it to Leah and all the actors, and I said, you know, when you're playing a game, if it is grassroots, if you score it, how I imagine what it is scoring for England. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's there's such a great feeling that you get, and it's just the reality is just grassroots. And does anyone really care? But yes, your team does, and you do. So yeah, I mean, but again, it's because, and again, I can't speak for the Lionesses. I have no idea how it feels for them, but I do imagine that again, that community and team runs across, no matter how high or who you're playing for. I think that runs through the whole team sports generally.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right, isn't it? And that you can attest to that feeling of scoring a goal is kind of across all levels, as you said. We've all had it in some experience. If you've been involved in football, whatever the match may be, I even still remember goals I scored going back to my school lunchtimes. There was a different level. But Freya, I'll pass back over to you.
Yeah, of course. And Leah, from what we've seen from the film so far, it definitely doesn't seem to be easy to be a part of a team like Soldiers United, who are fighting so much, struggling against so much on and off the pitch. Now, you play the character of Bills in the movie. How were you first approached, and what attracted you to that character?
Sara got in touch with Anna Demetriou, who plays Nellie. And Anna and I are very good friends. We've known each other for about 10 years now. And Sara sat down with us and basically explained the characters and said, we'd love for you guys to play these roles. And we absolutely had to, get involved. For me, it was a real pull, because I was at a stage in my career where I'd kind of lost the why a little bit. I'd kind of lost the sparky passion that I had when I was little, the excitement, just because of, sometimes it gets a bit hard. And so it was really lovely to have something completely different come up and be able to really get involved in it. And Sara really allowed us to do that, which was great. So I guess, those are the things that drew me to it. And, it's quite a unique story. The idea is unique. Like we've said, we haven't seen anything like it since Bend It Like Beckham, which I hadn't even seen when I hadn't watched it until we filmed. Really? We all stayed in a house and watched it, and that's a really funny story. But we all watched it, on that first night when we were all staying in a house, and it's just there's something about that community that's really put across in the film that really appealed to me. The effortless diversity, and the comedy. So all those things really drew me to it, and I wanted to get really stuck in, and I think I did.
Absolutely. And like you were saying, was it a role maybe that actually could bring that to Bills, because they're searching for something, aren't they? And they're fighting to find what's going to help them to get to the next stage. And like many grassroots clubs have talked about that sense of unity, that commitment, not only to their club but to each other, especially. Did you manage to look at any professional sports people, shadow any football clubs, go around to any grassroots to kind of get into the mindset of that? Or how did you prepare?
Yeah, so when we first started the whole process of, the cast were all together, we did a training day, and we had some amazing people from, was it Ellie?
Yes, yeah.
Ellie from Clapton FC came and did a training session with us, and I absolutely loved it. And from then, I tried to attend Clapton Open Access, which is a thing that happens on Saturdays between 10 and 12 in East London, and anybody can go, and you just play a bit of football for 2 hours. You get a training session, you learn some skills, and then you do a match. And so I started going to that to train up and just to get fit, and it's become now something I do on a regular basis, except that I twisted my ankle 3 weeks ago, so I've had to slow down a bit. But I feel like I'm entering the community now myself, completely separate from my job. It's now become, I think I was also searching for, but I was searching for some sense of community. And I think I'm starting to find it. So yes, I've myself become involved in a grassroots football. I'm, training, and I know people who are involved in it. Sara, yourself, Sara was there when I twisted my ankle.
That's not blaming.
It was funny because I looked at Sara when she went into director mode, and I went to actor mode. I was like, look after me. It was very funny.
And then I step over her.
Yeah, you were worried. I'm not gonna lie, I was worried. But yes, so I have found myself immersing into grassroots football, and I'm very, very happy about it.
Incredible, because Sam, that links quite nicely to the next question, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. So I mean, prior to sort of the film, has football played any role in your life, or sort of in in growing up? Is there anything, or was it completely new as an addition now?
Look, it's like when I was at school, I played netball, I danced, and they tried to start a girls' football club. And I went to the session because I wanted to play. Because you see it, there's so much fun, and you see the communities built around it. I was like, there must be something so fun in this. And I went, and it just wasn't great. It wasn't great. And I think it was hard, and they didn't hold us very well. And so I didn't go again. And I thought to myself, I'm not good at football because, well, they didn't train us. They just wanted to see if we could, but they didn't actually teach us anything. And I think that was a real shame, because I think I would have really enjoyed playing football at that age, like, 13 years old. That would have been really fun. So no, I didn't. I've always had an interest in it. Obviously, the girls bring it home, and that was amazing. And since then, actually, like I'm sure a lot of young women in this country, I've become more and more interested in football. So this it feels like a natural progression of an interest that has been growing, for a few years, but not really involved in it, before doing the film, which I'm sad about. Now I'm experiencing it. I'm like, I wish I'd had a bit more of that.
No, definitely, it's positive that you say you the lionesses and all that sort of impact that's had leading up to the film is kind of a nice kind of lead in, I suppose, to you starting to play, etc. So most importantly, where are you playing on the pitch when you've been playing in your spare time? Are you is there a position, or you're still sort of finding where your role is?
I'm finding it, but the last match I did play, I was like, I think I was in defence. And I really enjoyed that because I was able to see the whole pitch and see the way it was moving. And I think what I can do is, when I get the ball, I can move it, and I can good at passing it, getting around someone, getting it back again, and like getting it down the pitch. Don't ask me to score a goal; it's not going to happen. And don't ask me to save a goal, because my face needs to be in peace. So, just being honest. Okay. But I think either maybe defense on the left, I think I enjoyed quite a lot. But I tend to play midfield. But also I don't know the lingo well enough. So
okay.
That sounds pretty good, considering.
Managing the tempo, go with that. Say, oh yeah, control the tempo of the ball.
Yes, okay. I'm going to say that next time. Yeah, I'm good at I can control the tempo.
Sarah, how about you? Where do you play on the pitch?
Yeah, defense is. You know what? I love the dream of me being a striker, and I tried. It just doesn't happen for me. It's too much pressure. It's like I just can't keep it cool and get it in, basically. That's just I love it for me. So yeah, defense. I really tried for it, and sometimes you've got to know what you're good for.
No, I'm the same. I like to think I've got the vision and the awareness to move into space. Then after that, it's kind of like, okay, well, I've done my bit. I've got the ball to this point. Someone else can.
100%.
Yes, pass it on.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, do your job. Now, in the film, from what we've seen these great snippets of the action and the relationships between all of the characters, and especially the will they, won't they between Bills and Nelly as well, and how ultimately relationships like that can impact the rest of the squad. Now, Sarah, was the reality of what happens in these teams happening on and off the pitch, was that something you really wanted to showcase and normalize on the screen? Because we said it is such a safe space for those either part of the LGBTQ plus community or those like finding a space that they want to belong. Is that something that was in the forefront of your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I've done quite a few queer films. My last film was another comedy called Fucked. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, sorry.
After 9, don't worry.
And, for me personally, I really want to show queer films. How do I describe? I want to normalize queer films in the sense of I'm not making a big deal about, oh, this person is coming out, this, blah, blah, all these sort of things. And it's really important to me because I think the more we show that, the more there won't be, in the grand scheme of things, we hope we can push for it not being a problem. And yeah, I did. I think, when the team starts to break, it really does affect the pitch. And I'm trying not to say too much about the film, so I'm trying. But yeah, I'll give you an example. It's really funny. I was doing some PR for this film, and one of the girls came up to me and said, "Just checking, they're gay, right?" And I went, "Yeah, they are." Yeah. And then she went, Oh, I just had to check because like there's no women's football that like no one's like gay in the film, and not the film's gay in the pitch and stuff. And I was like, yeah, don't worry, there will be there are queer characters in here, don't worry, because it just does come hand in hand. But yeah, that's for me is the important thing, is just to make these the queer characters, it's normal, it is normal. So and so we played it out as normal, and there wasn't a big deal. And like I said before, like grassroots, there's so much diversity, you know, and I was really fortunate to be able to show that, because that is important to me as a person, because I'm so diverse as well within myself. But yeah, it just is it's just really beautiful to even, I think I remember the other day we were training and I was looking at the pitch opposite us, and then you know there's these really young girls playing football, and there's hijab girls, like there's such a variety playing now, and it just really it fills my heart, it really does. So I was very fortunate to be able to show that in this film.
Yeah, 100%. And that's exactly right, because not only is women's football just not represented well in the media, getting much better, but it just isn't. So Leah, was that important for you as well? I know you've mentioned coming into the project, it was so clearly diverse and inclusive, and having, you know, a cast that really represented the reality of that. How did it feel coming into this project? Was that important for you too?
Oh yeah, I mean, it felt brilliant. You know, as an actor, the way that we look and come across and appear is often very much at the forefront of the minds of those around you. And it can be sometimes isolating, and a lot is said about the boxes that you tick, you know. So in this, what was interesting was I didn't feel like I was being cast because of any of those things. Actually, it just felt like it was right. And, you know, for whatever reason, Sara thought, I'd like to have this person play this character. And it goes the same with everyone else. You know, obviously there was a present thought, which was, you know, I want this show to be diverse and to represent different people from different communities, and I think it's just effortlessly done. You know, when you watch the film, you'll see you might even, and this is the sad thing, is that you might even feel yourself going, oh my goodness, when you see certain faces and bodies on the screen, because you're not used to seeing it so effortlessly put across, you know. And it's like, oh god. And that is kind of sad that we have that response to these things. So hopefully this is a first step into, you know, normalizing just regular old people being on TV or films or whatever. Oh
no.
That was so great. I'll just tap onto also what Leah was saying, is like essentially all of the stuff. Oh, is she back?
Hi,
there
sorry.
she is.
There we go. I don't know what happened.
You finish it off. I was about to jump in.
You kicked you out. That's
yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. I think my internet must have sneezed. But I guess that's it, really. Yeah, that's it. And what I wanted to say, actually, if it's okay for me to finish, was, you know, as an actor, there's a trend at the moment where you have this is really, really interesting. There's a trend where there's one mixed race black girl, one black white guy, one this, one that, one this, one that. And that tends to be the case. And we often don't get to work with each other if we're similar, you know. It's really interesting. And, you know, Fatimina in this, Fatimina and I have more in common than anyone else on paper in the film. And it's just, you don't often get to work with people who look like you. And it's really very rare. So as a dark-skinned person, so that as well was just a lovely thing that, again, effortlessly done. Wasn't really thought about, and now you're not going to be able to unsee it. Any sci-fi show you see, you're going to see it, and it's we all know of each other, but we've never worked together. But yes, that's my last thing I'd like to say about that.
100%. Sara, what were you going to say?
Yeah, just, you know, a similar thing to Leah. Like the thing is, everyone who's come to or seen the film, because before our world premiere, we had an industry screening, which I will talk about that more in a minute. But that was one of the things. It was like, the thing is, the world is changing and people want to make those changes, but some of it does feel like, even for me as a director, it's like you're ticking the boxes because it's good for them, obviously, and I understand that, and I think it's good that we do this, because otherwise nothing's going to change in terms of reflection of media and stuff like that. But I think what everyone has said, and which I'm so glad, because it wasn't like I wanted it to be diverse because I want to tick the boxes. It was because I'm like super diverse within myself. So as a director, you always want to sort of show that as well. But also, like I said, grassroots is, generally speaking, very diverse. Like, my football team is very diverse. So it's not feeling forced, as it were. And I think that's the key thing. And that's what everyone was saying. It was like, it felt very natural and not forced. And I think for me, that's super important, because I'm not obviously here to be ticking boxes, but but there was an opportunity here, obviously, to be able to reflect the true what happens in grassroots football.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love that. And I know Sam's got some questions about that actual process of bringing, true life to the screen.
I do indeed. So sort of, how long have you been sort of wanting to make this film? How long had it been sort of an idea in your mind? And did the Lionesses winning the Euros in 2022 start to sort of accelerate that process?
Honestly, it started literally when I joined my grassroots football team. So it would have been after, because it would have been after, actually, the Lioness. I wish I could say it was because of them. However, it was after, and it was purely just how funny my team are, without them really meaning to be funny, I think, sometimes. So that's kind of how it sparked off. And then we had a really great opportunity, which at the time I didn't realize how great it was going to be. M&M's, the chocolate brand, were doing a film competition, and basically they were going to give us X amount of money to make a trailer. And I was like, this film was always in my head, but I just hadn't kickstarted. I think I was like still on my last film, but this gave me the kick up the butt to do the treatment, as it were, what they call it. And I sent it off to them, and then I ended up getting it, and that's kind of how it kickstarted. So we actually shot the teaser first, and then the short film. We did it a bit backwards. And then, but it was great, because it was great for us to really iron out the relationship. So the relationship for me was really important, that these guys could get along and were working together, so it reflected on screen. So that's kind of how it all sort of kick-started, really.
How long was the process sort of in all? Does it sort of, more from my understanding, because it was quite interesting when you sort of come up that idea, writing, casting, filming, how long has it taken overall?
So I applied for the M&M's thing, it was probably December. So by the time we had shot it, let's say it was probably about a year. So we shot the teaser, and then we shot and then I had to write the film with a couple of other writers as well. And we ended up shooting the film in October, I think. Am I right in saying that now? Yeah. October. It was a really quick turnaround. So we shot it in October. We shot the teaser in January, create the funding, got the funding for the full short film, shot it in October, and finished it, I think it was like January. Yeah, January this year.
Wow.
Yeah, that was basically a year from.
It was kind of a quick turnaround in the sense of how much we have done and how much we've achieved. But it depends, really. It really depends. But everything was pretty quick, because I was like ready to go. I was like, and I know, I really wanted to get this film out there pretty quick. So move fast.
Move fast, wonderful. Yeah, I mean, you'll be a hero of my kids, and alone for an M&M's competition, they'll be, never mind football, they'll be made up with that.
All down to M&M's. I love that. Yeah, a year's practically nothing, is it, in terms of getting everything sorted? I'm really impressed by that. That's really, really quick. And I know...
I'm very exhausted by the end of it.
And so the nap after that all came out, yeah.
Gotcha.
Now, as obviously doing our little bit of research before the pod, now we noticed that Dame Kelly Holmes has been named as one of the executive producers as well. What was her role? How did she get involved? Because obviously she is someone who is so vocal in promoting the women's game, no matter what sport it is. So yeah, can you tell us a bit about that, please?
Yeah, we were super lucky. We have an amazing exec called Jackie Lawrence, who has a good relationship with Dame Kelly Holmes, and it just made sense, really. I mean, she's literally the epitome of women's sports, right? She's Dame Kelly Holmes. So it aligned so well. And she's been really super supportive. She came in also on the edit and like was buzzing for it, loved it. She is the most busiest woman ever. She's always climbing some mountain somewhere. So she couldn't end up coming to a preview screening
or something as well, right?
Yeah, she's meant to come to. So she sent the cast, because the cast didn't know. I kept it a surprise for them, and we did a read through in London all together, which is a really nice sort of moment to get together with the cast, and obviously we read through the script all together. And I think I might have told them there was a surprise or something. I don't know. Maybe I didn't tell anything. And I was like, just watch this video. And it was a video basically saying Dame Kelly Holmes was going to be our new exec producer on board, and everyone was absolutely buzzing. It was a really, really nice reveal to everyone. And everyone got super excited. So it's lovely.
I love that. And I think it shows that, again, like you were saying, to get people interested, getting excited, like these big names are wanting to get involved and push this project forward as well, which has been incredible. And I know we've kind of touched upon it already, but obviously the Euros coming up in Switzerland this summer for the women as well. Obviously with the timing of the film coming out, Leah, is there a hope that, you've seen it firsthand, going out and actually trying it for yourself, is there a hope that people will come and see the film, start talking about it, and actually get out and see where their local grassroots club is? Because it's quite hard to find that information, isn't it, if you're relatively new to
it is. And I think there is a hope that this will up the involvement of local people within their local clubs. I mean, I personally have, I've joined, I'm a member of Clapton FC now. I watched my first game, Clapton v Hackney, a couple of days ago, and it was great, and we won. Sorry, Hackney. But yeah, how lovely would it be for, the big stage that is the Euros to also shine a light on the stage, which is grassroots football, and to have them be sharing that kind of attention and celebration and joy together at the same time. And it feels like with this film, a lot of the timing has just been so serendipitous, like it's there's something about it where everything that happened, even if it was a negative thing, gave way to a really positive thing. And I think that's wonderful. And so the fact that we've made the film and we did it in a year altogether, and then it's now ready for this big event that's going to be happening in women's football, is really exciting. Who knows what's going to happen, and hopefully we can get it out there, get eyes on it. The eyes that are on this can be on that too, and generate some curiosity and joy.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sara, every footballer starts somewhere. And it is at grassroots, isn't it? So how fantastic would it be, because some people might not want to play, but the option to actually go out and support their local club is equally as important as actually going up and picking up a ball, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. And like, Leah said, again, like the year before, obviously I've been super busy, so I haven't actually been able to play or support Clapton as much as I used to. However, like a lot of the, I remember someone who had watched the film and said, they were like, oh, for grassroots football, they have quite a lot of supporters in my film. And I went, well, actually, it was kind of based on Clapton FC, because they've got really an amazing support group. Like, it's wild. It's like, normally you think grassroots football is like, you know, a man and his dog and like a couple of sprinkling of people. Do you know what I mean? But actually, Clapton have got such a beautiful, and this is for the women's team as well. And it's like, it's really lovely to see. And so I said to them, I actually based that even curated that sort of, how do I say it, the audience, as it were, or the spectators for Soldiers United team from Clapton. And again, it's like it's also showing the change. Like, let's show people what actually it can look like, which is really important for me. And again, normalizing that people go and watch women's football, which obviously, as we know, is getting way better. I think I went to a game the other day, Arsenal versus, and I cannot remember who they were against now, but I think it was like 60,000 people. And yeah, it's like, it's amazing, really great. But yes, you're right. It starts from grassroots, and again, you know, a touch on community, because I think we lack that so much. And I say this, especially in London or even Western societies, we lack community. And I think that's what is the problem that we've got. And so things like football should be, it's not only just about the football, it is about relating, coming together. And the importance of that is on everyone's mental health and well-being is really, really important.
Yeah, bringing everyone together and being that chosen family as well, isn't it? Yeah. That importance of coming together. No, 100%. And Sam, we're going to ask a bit more about any long-term plans as well, weren't we?
We were indeed. So yeah, so I presume hopefully some opportunities in terms of what happens furthermore with Soldiers United, you know, for opportunity maybe delve into the relationships a bit deeper, multiple seasons. What's kind of your plans from here on out with it?
Yes, so very exciting. Basically, we are hoping to develop it as a TV series. That's our goal for this. We are currently, I have written the series arc, that's what they call it, and we are going to production companies as we speak. It's a long process, and I think, you know, this is the other thing that I would really ask for your viewers as well. Like I said, it's really interesting. Sometimes you have to prove to people that people want to watch these films, and it's a sad fact, but you know, that's the reality that we're living in. And so that's why, you know, it's really important for us to be doing sort of podcasts and stuff like that, so that we can get the support from the communities. And whether that's following us on, you know, at Soldiers United on Instagram, it's so important. And sharing the film, and hopefully creating some waves and showing these production companies that, or commissioners, let's say, that it is a really important story, and we want to see this and we want to see more. So that would be really important for us if the community can help us share and support us. That would be really great. But the idea is that we are trying to get this into a TV series. So fingers crossed.
Amazing, fingers crossed, hopefully. So I'm sure our community will. They're lovely, aren't they, Freya? And they do mostly what we ask a lot of the time. So please come follow and share and support.
Yeah, so I was going to say, because our women's football podcast has been out, a year and a half now, I think. And even from its inception, like the community is there, and the community wants to listen and be involved, not just WSL Championship, but we talk about the Women's National League, we talk about Italian football. Like, we talk about so many of these stories, because a lot of mainstream media want to just talk about, you know, the big teams and the big names and that kind of thing. But if you love football, you love football, don't you?
Yeah.
And you want to know all of it, and you want to absorb it all. So yeah, we've got a fantastic community that will definitely get behind you.
And then you've got to tell them to share it with their other communities.
This is it.
That's how it works. You know, when we had the trailer out a little while ago, I was shooting a TV show, and I was on set in a pickup day, and the focus puller turned to me and went, "Oh, I saw Soldiers United, like the trailer, it looks great." And this is someone who isn't involved in grassroots football, who's a focus puller who works on a TV set, and she's turned to me and said that. And so spreading it that's how these things work. So it's everyone's responsibility.
Exactly.
It's teamwork.
Teamwork, exactly.
Teamwork.
Yeah, and we've got 3 shows across the channel, haven't we, Sam? So
This
you
is
know,
it, 3, possibly
all
soon to
of
become
those.
4 as well. So almost
wow.
every day we can continue to
Wow.
share the
Thanks,
message.
guys.
all the time.
I really appreciate it.
And finally, we just had a bit of a fun question for you both. Sam, would you like to do the honours for this one?
I will indeed, yes. So the question is, and it's very low stakes, of course. If you needed to save the world, which female footballer are you choosing to take a penalty to score for you and save us all?
Definitely not me.
It can be anyone in history as well. So literally anyone. The choice is yours.
Jill Scott.
Good shout.
Good shout.
Thank you.
Very good shout.
Sorry, were you gonna go on? Keep going.
No, go on.
Sorry, I'm like,
No, that's amazing.
so I half feel embarrassed because mine is maybe an obvious one, but because of my non-involvement with football before and then seeing it, I think is it Alessia Russo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on, man! Like that's what I go with. That's what I go with. She absolutely blew me away with that backwards kick. Like, that's
Yeah.
that's the one for me.
Yeah, the t-shirt printed with that back heel on, like it's gone down history.
Yeah.
Absolutely audacious, the audacity of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Just the thinking to actually go, I'll try it.
Yes.
See what happens. Yeah.
And that is what we're doing with Soldiers United. You know what I mean?
The audacity.
of us.
Yeah.
I love it. Hey, we'll get Alessia Russo to do it as well and be like, hey, if I can do the back heel, this film can do good things too.
I just slide into those DMs like get that ball into that net.
Hey, that's what you get, right?
Exactly.
I love it. Well, both, we have come to the end, but thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us out of your busy schedules. Now, we absolutely loved it. We can't wait to see it. And I know, Sara, you mentioned the Instagram for Soldiers United earlier. Is that the best place for people to keep up to date with all the latest goings on?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so it's at Solers, SOLERS United. So there will be more screenings. We've got some really super exciting things which I cannot tell you yet, but you will find out on our Instagram. But yeah, some really amazing things happening for Soldiers United. So yeah, definitely stay tuned, and we'll be drip feeding that as we go along throughout the year.
Well, we can't wait. I know me and Sam, we've got our notifications on, ready to go, following the channel, and hopefully, you never know, we can get back in touch and see how it's all gone once it has been released. That would be incredible. But yeah, you've got two more supporters on the journey, and as soon as we release this as well, to all of our subscribers, they'll definitely get involved too. But yeah, to our listeners, thank you so much for watching. Remember to go and subscribe to Soldiers United, and we'll be back on Wednesdays as usual at 8:30 with our women's football news. But yeah, thank you both so much for joining us, and we can't wait to see how the film does. So thank you so much. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, Freya here. Thank you so much for watching the Absolute Football Podcast. Please don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, follow, love, whatever you need to do to make sure you don't miss a single moment. Remember, you can watch one of the videos that are on screen now. And don't forget, of course, our women's football show, the Absolute Women's Football Show, is live every single Wednesday at 8:30 with yours truly and a fantastic panel. Join me each week and special guests as well. So remember to like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you in the chat next Wednesday.